Beijing Shibaolai Amusement Equipment, or SBL, was founded in 1989 in Beijing and has produced countless amusement rides mainly in mainland China. They're known for making knockoffs of just about anything a park would want to buy. In mainland China, if someone has an idea that's profitable, there will be someone out there who copies it just so that they can profit from it as well. SBL is a perfect example of this. SBL made their first coaster in 1999. It was a standard Wild Mouse, not unlike what many other Chinese and Western manufacturers were making at the time. Also in 1999, they would open the first Chinese-built mine train coaster. This ride's track design is very different to what any other manufacturer was making at the time. In 2003, they opened a shuttle loop coaster named Feng Shen Coaster. This coaster was a knockoff of Japanese manufacturer Misho Ride's Loop-the-Loop shuttle coaster. Then, in 2005, they would introduce one of the most successful knockoff coasters ever, Shenzhou Coaster, a knockoff of the Vekoma SLC that had first opened in China 2 years prior at Happy Valley, Shenzhen. This model would go on to be SBL's most popular coaster, and it would become cloned and copied by other Chinese manufacturers. Unlike other Chinese manufacturers, SBL quickly changed the layout of these coasters as they released version 1 and version 2 SLCs with very different layouts to the Vekoma model. In 2006, they would introduce Space Trip, a fairly unique ride to SBL. This year also brought SBL's take on the extremely common Wacky Worm. However, SBL's Wacky Worm used the very unique track found on their mine train. SBL did not expand their lineup of coasters until 2008, when they introduced Spinning Batman, a knockoff of the Kari Pro Batflyer. It was known for being one of the roughest coasters ever made, and it was removed in 2010 due to low ridership and mechanical problems. In 2009, they would introduce an indoor-themed kiddie coaster with a drive tire lift, and that same year they would build their first knockoff aero looping coaster, this time in Mexico. Another interesting thing about SBL is that many of their coasters use photo eyes rather than proximity sensors, like many Western coasters did back in the 1970s. They likely did this to cut short-term costs. In 2012, they introduced their next model, the Jet Coaster, clearly inspired by Japanese coasters of the same name. In 2013, they released their most clear knockoff coaster yet, Magic Ring Vertical Coaster, an unlicensed clone of the Mauer Skyloop coaster. Unlike Mauer's coaster, which uses specifically designed lap bars to keep the riders comfortable during the ride, the SBL version uses hard over-the-shoulder restraints that no doubt provide a less comfortable ride. In 2015, they opened another near-exact clone of a Western coaster, Sky Swirl, a knockoff Vekoma Boomerang. On this ride, even the trains are exactly the same as Vekoma's. But hey, at least they started to use proximity sensors instead of photo eyes. In 2016, they debuted a new SLC, Soaring Dragon and Dancing Phoenix. Unlike their prior SLCs, this SLC uses a completely custom layout and new, less bulky restraints. After watching a POV that I cannot show here for copyright reasons, but I will have linked in the description, the ride looks quite smooth for a knockoff SLC and looks to be one of the better inverted coasters in mainland China. Chinese companies are the best in the world when it comes to spinning coasters, and so in 2017 SBL got in on the action, building their own spinning coaster that's quite different to what anyone else in the world makes. 2019 and 2020 have both been huge years for SBL. In early 2019 they debuted Garden Fantasy, a clear knockoff of Mack Ride's inverted powered coaster at the same park with Dueling Dragons, the giant Intamin half-inverted, half-sit-down coaster. This will become important later. Then they would debut their take on the Spinning Wild Mouse. This coaster is very strange and unlike anything a Western or Chinese manufacturer has made before. In 2020, they will debut their take on a flying coaster. This ride looks to be an exact clone of a Zamperla Volare. And for their most recent model of coaster, they introduced Twin Dragon. And it's evidence that the SBL engineers inspected more than just their own ride during the construction of Garden Fantasy and Dueling Dragons. Twin Dragon is two coasters, a suspended coaster and a sit-down coaster. It even uses the same track connection method Intamin coasters use. Unlike Intamin's coaster, this will use a lift hill, and it's expected to open in 2020. SBL is the definition of a Chinese ride manufacturer. and I say ride because a lot of their market is in flat rides. I've not covered that here because this video would be 3 hours long. SBL is the second largest Chinese ride manufacturer behind only Golden Horse. Like Golden Horse, they do innovate. Heck, Golden Horse made the Gen 2 SLC before Vekoma did, but they only do this when it's convenient. Also like Golden Horse, they have clearly improved since the mid-2000s days of knockoff SLCs. However, unlike Golden Horse, SBL does not seem very interested in markets outside of Asia. To conclude, any Western manufacturer building a ride in mainland China should be aware that doing so forfeits their intellectual property. This has been shown time and time again with the 3 manufacturers I have showcased in this series. If you want to know more about a specific Chinese ride manufacturer, tell me in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching.